I don't think anybody is surprised by this. Brandon Staley had to go. Might be the worst coach in NFL history. Maybe besides Urban Meyer. Like, legitimately. This doofus was a coach. They're also firing Tom Telesco. Hey, Brandon Staley, you still want to coach? I have an idea. Why don't you call Sean McVay? Okay. And you ask him, can you please come back and coach in LA with the Rams? Here's why. Because you suck as a head coach. You're a dude. Like, you ruined a career. Like, you ruined Justin Herbert in the first 3 years of his career. This guy's a superstar. You see what Tua's doing? Do you see what Tua's doing in Miami with Mike McDaniel? That's a good coach. You see what Trevor Lawrence is doing in Jacksonville with Doug Peterson? That's a good coach. You see what Burrow is doing in Cincinnati? That's a good coach with Zach Taylor. You're not a good coach. You're not. If I'm the Chargers, I am making Kellen Moore my interim head coach for now. Let the 3 more weeks play out. You may lose because you don't have Herbert. It's okay. You're probably not going to hire Kellen Moore as the head coach. I think that ship has sailed for him. I'd go out and I'd interview Ben Johnson for that head coaching job because he's doing great things with the Lions, with Jared Goff. He could make Justin Herbert into a superstar. I think I would reach out to the Eagles' Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator of the Eagles. Yes, he hasn't been great, but anybody can do better than this doofus. I think Jim Harbaugh is a potential head coach for them if he decides to come back to the NFL and leave Michigan, or if they just outright get rid of him. But the GM firing is interesting because Bill Belichick, the Patriots head coach, he was a GM. I'm just saying. He's a GM and a head coach. And the defense is... That's what's sad. The defense has Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. Do they still have Derwin James? I think they still have Derwin James, right? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. You have all these superstar talents on your defense. And you got your butt whooped by the Raiders and Aiden O'Connell. That's why you're gone. You got your butt whooped by Aiden O'Connell, a rookie out of Purdue. Like, if you had got your butt whooped by, like, Jimmy Garoppolo, you'd have probably still been fired. But they could have justified, it was Jimmy G. He is a decent game-managing quarterback. Bro, you had Jacoby Myers throwing touchdown passes. I forgot he was on the Raiders until last night. And yes, I have watched some of the game. I've watched clips of the game. Brandon Staley, you suck. I feel bad because, listen, you're probably a good person, right? You're probably a good man. It is Christmas time. You don't ever want to lose your job, but you're a doofus. Like, you're an idiot. Like, a 5-year-old could call a better game than what you call for offense. And I think a 5-year-old could call a better defense. I am dead serious with that statement. I think anybody on the planet Earth could call a better defensive scheme and a better offensive game plan than Brandon Staley does as the head coach of the Chargers. And look, I know you're a defensive coach, and you really believed in your defense was ass. Bad. Really, really bad. Like, one of the worst defenses ever. You know what's funny? Here's what's funny. The Broncos got the break speed off of them by Miami. Like 70-20. And like the worst beating ever. Sean Payton didn't go. The defensive coordinator of the Broncos didn't go. You know why? Because people respect them. Oh, and Miami has a track team playing offense. And an actual smart head coach. I know in his press conferences he's hilarious. And people don't really take him seriously, but he's a good head coach. And his defense is decent. And he's got a great defensive coordinator with him. You got the brakes beat off of you by a rookie with your great defense. 63-21. It was 42-0 at the half. At the half. Bro, you shouldn't have been allowed back on the field last night. You shouldn't have been allowed back on the bus to get on the plane to fly back to Los Angeles. The fact that the Chargers did that they let you back on the team plane, that they let you fly back to LA, I am shocked by. Because if it was me, you wouldn't have been allowed back in the building. You wouldn't have been allowed in the locker room at halftime. I'd have told you to pack your shit up and get the hell out. 42-0's embarrassing in the NFL. 63-21 final is embarrassing in the NFL. Not to mention you blew a lead last year in the playoffs against Jacksonville when your offense was cooking and cooking. Your defense blew the game. Your defense, your great defense, blew the game because you suck. You suck as a head coach. You suck. If it wasn't for Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, I don't think the Rams defense would have been as good as they were. You're a horrible coach. Go coach high school football. Because the stuff you're doing in the NFL could pass in high school football. And I bet you still would get fired. Brandon Staley is the worst coach in the NFL history. That's a history that includes Urban Meyer. That includes guys like John Gruden. And Brandon Staley is the worst one. As a person, he might be better than Urban. I don't know. And he might be better than John Gruden. I don't know. I don't know him personally. But as a coach, you're terrible. Horrible. You should never have a job again in the NFL. Go coach college football or high school football or, I don't know, Pee Wee. Go coach Pee Wee. You can't get paid for it, but, it would give you coaching. You need to, seriously, I'm being serious now, take a year off. Take a year, kind of learn, like Mike McCarthy did. Mike took some years off, he learned, he come back as the Dallas Cowboys coach, and look what he's doing with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. You suck. You're terrible. And I can't not blame you for the defense, because you're the defensive coordinator. And you're still terrible. And you got two of the best pass rushers in the league. And one of the best safeties in the league. The Chargers are painful to watch. I didn't even watch last night's game because I knew it was going to be bad. I picked the Raiders to win. I didn't realize that again. Do you realize that this is the same Raiders team that a freaking week ago lost 3-0 to the Vikings in a defensive battle? And they put up 63 points on your great defense. Man, Staley, you suck. It physically makes me sick watching you coach. So I am so glad that I don't have to watch that anymore, because you are... Take your little stats and analytics and go get a job at ESPN. Do that. You want to talk about stats and analytics and what the percentage is if you get a fourth? Go do that on ESPN. If I'm the Chargers, I'd pick up the phone and call Dan Orlovsky. Because he's a good coach. He'd be a good coach, and he would be a good coach for Herbert. You suck.